Hey, all you lovely creative people. This is June from Oakenwich Lane Designs, and I'm going to give you a quick update on where I am on my Headless Horseman. Since you last saw him, I bulked him up a little bit. I gave him some more clay for polymer clay. He's been baked. I added his hands. And then I took those white stockings like I told you I was going to do, and I put it up his legs, and I was able by stretching and sewing them to make them his breeches. And this is going to be nice because, as you know, this whole thing is going to be painted gray, um, and maybe with some black in it too, but I can do this with his pants and it gives nice crinkles and wrinkles. I then decided to use polymer clay for his boots, and I put in some little tiny fake pearls that I had to give it some kind of a texture, because if you look up like vintage boots, a lot of them had buttons down the side where they hooked them. I guess they were called hook and eyes. And now what I'm going to, what I wanted to tell you, which I forgot to tell you, when you wrap, and this is how I was taught from Serafina, when you wrap your armature, you always usually put a pipe cleaner around it. Well, my pipe cleaners were or are too big for this small amount of arm that I'm going to be wrapping in wool. And the reason why I'm not polymer claying this arm is because I want the ability to flex his hands so that when I put him on the horse and I make the bridle, I can go up or down. I don't have to decide right now his exact position. So I had this old candle wicking that I bought by mistake, and it has the metal wire in it. So I'm using some of that, and I wrap that around his arm to give me some kind of basis. And that's my oven going, because I'm going to be putting this guy back in the oven in a few seconds, to wrap around so the wool has something to grab to hold on to the wire. So I'm going to be wrapping this. Let's see if I can get this spot tucked in a little bit better on the top. And I'm just going to be wrapping it up and down until I get the width of how thick, I should say how thick, not the width, how thick I want his arm to be. And I'm pulling this pretty tight. And I'll continue doing that. You've seen me do it before on this part. But what I also wanted to show you, which is fun, is his it is correct. His boots are not done. And I mentioned that when I do boots, what I normally do is to make the sole and the heel of the boot, I will put it on a flat piece of clay. And I know I'm using ecru, I'm using black. It's whatever. I want to use this up because it's very dirty. I don't know if you can see all the dirt in the clay, and I'm not going to use it for anything else. So I take his foot, put it on the clay, and very carefully, and try to keep my blade at a 90-degree angle, and my hand is in the way of everything, but what I'm trying to do is I'm running my blade around his foot. Okay, there. I know, I'm sorry that you can't see it. I don't know what angle to put you at that you can see it, but basically I'm just taking my blade and using it as a pen or a pencil, and I'm outlining his foot. Now that's going to be pretty messy. I'm going to do it again. I was just trying to show it to you. Clean it off. Pull this up. Smooth it out a little bit. Do the same thing for the other foot and bake these, not on him. And then when this is baked, I'm going to take it and I'm going to glue it to the bottom of his shoe, and it'll make it look like there is a sole. And then what I can do is take this as a guide, or I can even, once I cut it out, put it on him with some liquid polymer clay so it stays, because I do have to put him one more time in the oven. And what I'm going to do here is take this as a guide and do like a little bit more of a heel. So go around with this, pull this up. It's much easier if it's not baked, but we'll pull it up, do this, and now, did my hands cover that whole thing? I'm sorry. Now I'm putting it like a heel on the bottom of his shoe, and I put it on the wrong side. And then I can just use some liquid polymer clay, attach it, and when I put him in the oven, of course I'm going to do this a lot neater. When I put him in the oven for his final bake, because I do have to fix a few areas that I'm not happy with. Trying to get these thumbs on was a little hard, so I'm going to put some clay in there to smooth that out so it looks more smooth and everything. Now, his jacket might cover it, but it'll still bother me. And that's where we are on that. Then, just wanted to show you, I'm very excited. I got my Lucite rods I ordered them from Amazon. So this is going to be the thing. Let's move this all on it out of the way. The reason why he has plastic is I'm going to polymer clay. I'm going to sculpt his saddle. I'm putting the underparts of the saddle in leather that I have, but the saddle itself I'm not even going to try to do that. So I'm going to put it in polymer clay, and this over here and then some tin foil on top will protect the horse so he doesn't get any clay on him. Put the Lucite rod in here, glue him in, and he will be, I'm not going to make it a very high thing because again, it's you know, more stable if it's lower. I can't, here, I can show it to you this way. I'll cut it right probably around here or stick it in wood here. So he will be leaping. The horse will be leaping. Now, what I might do is cut another small rod here just to support it, so he's supported by two pieces. Now, there's no other way to do this as far as supporting him on a stand unless I made a backdrop for him and made holes in the horse over here and attached him to the backdrop like this. I know this is a big bulky thing and I'm trying to get it on screen. If I attached him like this to the backdrop, my daughter and I, we were talking about it. We decided we weren't going to do that. So we're going to work with the Lucite and see how that works. And I got 4 of them, so I can make mistakes. They come in a package of 4. So, okay, I just wanted to give you a quick update. There's some more exciting things that I did with him, but we're not going to show that just yet. And that's about it. So until I see you again, have fun creating beauty.